What's going on, all you mentees? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today, it's time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. That's right, we're talking about the collected editions coming out in March of 2023. So, join me. And welcome back, everybody. So today I'm going to be going over the list of collected editions coming out for the month of March of 2023. These are my budget meeting videos that I've been doing for quite a number of years, and a lot of people look forward to these. I look forward to these. I don't look forward to putting it together, but that's okay. That's not on you, that's on me. So, as always, I like to remind people that some dates are subject to change, so sometimes books can be late, whether that's distribution or publishing or printing. All these things could happen. And as a matter of fact, we've had some kind of trickle in here from December, I believe. So at least they're coming. So that's the good news. The other news is please smash that like button. Please, please. That goes a long way for the channel, and it's a very small thing you can do to help us out. And big thank you to our patrons for making videos like this possible. Could not be doing this without all of you. And if you want the written documentation, that can be found on our Patreon. The link is in the description of the video. That starts at $1 a month tier. There's different tiers to meet your needs. Now, one last thing. Big shout out to my buddy Aaron Cobbs. I'm so glad he's feeling better, and he helped me put the Marvel and DC list together. Man, that is such a kind thing. All right, let's get started. The week of March 7th, from Marvel Comics, we have Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection, The Goblin Lives. This is the new printing, and as I always like to remind people, the new printings of Epic Collections usually have a smaller print run. So they usually go pretty quick, and I hate to freaking drive FOMO with the first book I'm talking about, but that's just fact. And this collects Amazing Spider-Man 53 to 67, Spectacular Spider-Man 1 and 2, not the ongoing series, but the magazine that they were trying out was black and white. Marvel Superheroes number 14, and not Brand X 6 and 11. This time around, it is $44.99. I think the first printing was $39.99, if I'm not mistaken. 496 pages. Another new printing is Spider-Man vs. Venom. And as always, I like to do my top 10 suggested readings or essential buys or must reads for the month. That list will come out on Sunday, and you may see some of these books show up on that list. Like perhaps that one? Did I pick that one? I don't know if I picked that one or not. No, I don't think I did. I didn't pick that one. Damn it. So let me talk a little bit more about that one. You can usually tell the books that I pick out when I don't talk or focus that much on them. But this here is a new printing. I'll be doing an overview on Monday. I've already filmed it, but it is coming out on Monday. This collects Amazing Spider-Man 258, 300, 315 to 317, 332 and 333, 346 and 347, 361 to 363, 374, 378 through 380, and a bunch of one-shots and miniseries. And the biggest thing in here is the entirety of Maximum Carnage. Now, to a lot of people, this is regarded as Omnibus number 0. It's been called that since it was solicited the first time 4 years ago. 5 years ago, 2018, yeah, that's when it first came out. But they didn't change it. They still kept it as Spider-Man versus Venom. So I'll be talking more about that whenever I do my advanced look at on Monday. And Mighty Marvel Masterworks is back with Daredevil Volume 2, Alone Against the Underworld, collecting Daredevil 12 through 21. I can't wait to get my kids on that one. I think we're filming Hulk, and then they're currently reading Namor. Trials of X is back with that beautiful cover, and I say beautiful, bloody cover with Emma Frost there, collecting X-Corp 5, Marauders 24 through 25. I thought X-Corp was already finished. This could be wrong. X-Force 23 to 24 and Excalibur 24. Silver Surfer by Dan Slott and Mike Allred Omnibus. Now, this is the new printing this time around. It's getting 2 covers, just like Spider-Man vs. Venom. And this collects Silver Surfer 1 through 15, and then when it was relaunched in 2016, 1 through 14, and material from all new Marvel .1. Gambit, Thick as Thieves, Chris Claremont, covers by Wills Portacio. Sid Kotean is doing the illustrations on the inside, and this collects the 5-issue miniseries. I think it's a flashback, so it's some of it is set during the Krakoa era. I just picked it up. It's in my book to read. It's the next book I have. But I believe it's a flashback to that time when Gambit and Storm were running around as thieves. From the world of DC Comics, we have Batgirls, Volume 2, Batgirl Summer. Man, I need to pick up that first book because it has Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, and Stephanie Brown, spoiler. Ooh, nice. Becky Cloonan, Michael Conrad, and Robbie Rodriguez working on that series. This one here collecting 7 through 12 of Batgirl. Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, Book 2. I'm so glad to see that book out there. This here has 320 pages. The retail price is $16.99. That is surprising. Okay. And I believe this wraps up that era of Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle. This is the pre-New 52 era. Batman, Superman, World's Finest, Volume 1, The Devil Nezha. This is Mark Waid and Dan Mora, and it collects the first few issues of that run. Then we have The Nice House on the Lake, Volume 2. So it's a follow-up to James Tynion's book. And this, I think, the first series won a 2022 Eisner Award, if I'm not mistaken. From the world of manga, my goodness, this series has been going on forever, and that is Black Clover. So Black Clover number 32, volume 32 is coming out, and we're also getting Blade of the Immortal volume 8. I think some people already have this one, but it officially comes out from Dark Horse that particular day. And Am I Actually the Strongest? Volume 1 is coming out, and that is published by Kodansha. We also have Ayashimon, Volume 1, and that is published by Viz Comics. I really like the hair that Demon Lady has. I don't know if she's a Demon Lady. I just saw the teeth. I assume she was. Who knows? Kitaro, Japan's Classic Manga Collection. So, probably thinking, wait a minute. He just said Japan's. That's right. I said Japan's, not Japan. Japan. And there we go. Now, this was previously released, and it went out of print, and it started going for a lot of money. This is published by Drawn and Quarterly, and it has finally come back to print. So if you're interested in the character of Kitaro at all, this is the classic manga collection they put out years ago and discontinued. Rise of Outlaw Tamer and His Cat. Dude, anytime you throw a cat into a story, I immediately get interested in it, mainly because of my daughters. But then I look at, are you talking about, is she a cat lady, or is that fat thing a cat? Because it looks like it's got 2 horns. I don't know what's going on here, but this is published by 7 Seas Entertainment. From other publishers, we have Air coming out from Dark Horse Comics. This is Volume 2. G. Willow Wilson, M. Keith Parker, Chris Chukri are the people behind the scenes on this particular book. I want to say, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that these were original graphic novels, that there weren't single issues of these. I've been wrong a lot, but please correct me. Don't tell my wife you corrected me, though. I only get 3 a day. Berger Books so it's part of that era. Karen Berger. Plants vs. Zombies. Now, this is coming out in hardcover format. This is Volume 20, Faulty Fables. Those books do so well. Like, you may be thinking, rolling your eyes, like, I can't believe they're putting that stuff out. Those books do so well with kids. Like, anytime there's a Scholastic Fair or anything like that, that's where those books shine. From IDW, we have Genius Illustrated, The Life Art of Alex Toth. Now, that is coming back to print as a trade paperback. This one has 352 pages, $34.99, and it's got artwork in there, not just from comics, but also television. Dungeons & Dragons, Honor Among Thieves, The Feet of the Moon. This is the movie prequel comic coming out from IDW. 96 pages, $14.99. And we're getting Power Rangers Volume 6. Now, this is when Power Rangers relaunched, and this is published by Boom Studios. And this collects Power Rangers 21 through 22 and Power Rangers Unlimited, the Death Ranger. Who the hell's the Death Ranger? Man, that's a bit of a spoiler there. All right. We also are getting, that same week from other publishers, Brooklyn's Last Secrets, or Last Secret rather, not many secrets. It's just one secret. That's coming out that week. All Talk from Black Panel Press is coming out, and that's released on March 8th. So I know some of these are released on March 7th, March 8th, but depending really on where you get your books. From Graphic Universe, we're getting Green Girls, or The Green Girls. Apologies for that. And we're also getting Mooncake, and that one is being published by Oni Press. And actually, that art looks familiar. Suzanne Walker and Wendy Xu. I've seen that art somewhere before. Maybe it's another Oni Press book that they put out. Moth Keeper's coming out, and that looks beautiful. That first look, I thought it was a manga, but this is K. O'Neill, published by Random House Graphic Novels. And Snowcat Prince is coming out in trade paperback format. And that is published by Oni Press as well. And we're getting Young Katherine Johnson. That's coming out in hardcover format that week. Published by Humanoids. Adventures of Cthulhu and Friends. How could you not love a title like that? Cthulhu Jr. Alter Bridge Tour of Horrors is coming out in hardcover format. And we're also getting the Animosity trade paperback, Volume 1, The Wake. Now, I do need to talk about this one for a second, because you're probably asking yourself, but that's been out already. I don't think it's being published by Aftershock anymore. So that's why it's being reprinted. At least the trade paperbacks. Maybe they found a new home. I don't really know. Bash, Volume 1 is coming out. That's published by Titan Comics. And that cover is awesome. That is by Rudy Gobert and Helen Bay. Vince Serrano, coming out on March 8th from Titan Comics. And we're also getting Beowulf. Now, this isn't the classic Beowulf. As a matter of fact, it looks really cutesy. But I want to get my wife to check it out. She loves the Grendel stories and the Beowulf, the poems. And so I don't know if it has anything to do with Beowulf, but hey, it's there. And Black Phoenix, Volume 1. It's coming out that very same week, as well as Broken Social Scene, You Forgot and People hardcover. Callie and Kiki is coming out both in graphic novel format and in hardcover format. I love when publishers release books like this at the same time in two formats. So it's your preferred format you want to get it in. Devil's Road is coming out that week. From the world of Doctor Who, you get Doctor Who, the Daleks Ultimate Comic Strip Collection, Volume 2, and Dracula of Transylvania. It's coming out in softcover format. Feral and Foe, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week. Five Nights at Freddy's, hardcover, collection, Volume 2, Fast Bear Frights. I no idea. I know the concept of Five Nights at Freddy's. If you enjoy it, and you're reading the comics, more power to you. Forever Maps Remastered. So this is the remastered edition. And we're getting some Golden Age Classic Rangers of Freedom hardcover, Volume 1. Now that both comes out in hardcover and a slipcase format. Graham Coxon Superstate hardcover is coming out. As well as Hilltop Hoods presents Noctis, trade paperback, Volume 1. In Limbo, this is a graphic memoir coming out again in hardcover and in softcover format. And Judge Dredd, The Complete Case Files, Volume 41. My video is done for part 3. I can't wait for you all to watch it. I know a lot of you all asked me. 2 years in the making. It is finally coming out. And then I can work on part 4. I am currently on Volume 26 as we speak. So, 26? Is that right? Yeah, 26. So we got a little bit to go before we get to 41. And Kaiju Score, trade paperback, Volume 2, Steel from the Gods is coming out to wrap up that week of March. The most important week of the year, March 14th, because March 14th happens to be my birthday. That's right. Actually working on something very special for March 14th. For you all. From Marvel Comics, the book we've been looking at here is Star Wars Legends, Epic Collection, The Old Republic. So this collects Star Wars Knight Errant 1 through 5, Knight Errant Deluge 1 through 5, Escape 1 through 5, and Jedi vs. Sith 1 through 6, and material from Star Wars Tales number 16. So I assume that's enough for a volume 2 of an omnibus, because I love the first one. That first one just mind blown, man. It was so good. Aliens is coming out in Epic Collection, so if you have the omnibus, it's already been collected there. It's got the original names and gone back to the original. And by original names, I mean like Dark Horse changed the names of the characters because of licensing, and so Newt got changed, and so did Hicks, as well as Ripley. So this collects Aliens from 1988, 1 through 6, Aliens 1 through 4, Aliens Earth War, that's from 1989, by the way, the Aliens 1 through 4, Aliens Earth War 1 through 4, and Dark Horse Presents 24, 42, and 43. Deadpool by Kelly Thompson, so it's getting a big fat trade, collecting all 10 issues of Deadpool. You have artwork in here from Chris Bachalo. Who else is the other artist? I cannot remember. Oh my goodness, I can see the art style. It looks like Humberto Ramos. Is it? No, not Herrera. It's the gentleman that drew Guardians 3000. I'm sure it will come to me after the video. Marvel Masterworks, The Uncanny X-Men Volume 15 for my birthday is coming out. That is so awesome. Oh my gosh, we are looking at Fall of the Mutants. Okay, so collecting Uncanny X-Men 220 to 231, X-Men Annual 11, X-Men vs. Avengers 1 through 4, and material from Best of Marvel Comics. So we're not only looking at the Fall of the Mutants, we're looking at the aftermath of Fall of the Mutants. My favorite X-Men crossover. Oh my gosh. Even though it's not really a crossover, it's just a standalone X-Men story. X-Men Red by Al Ewing, Volume 2 is coming out that very same week, collecting issues 6 through 10. That's been a nice, phenomenal series. Star Wars Legends. And now we're looking at the Rebellion Omnibus Volume 1. So you have stories in here by John Wagner, Cam Kennedy, and Hugh Fleming doing, well, one of the covers here. Collecting Star Wars Empire 7, 14, 16 through 27, Star Wars Vader's Quest 1 through 4, Star Wars the 2013 series 1 through 20, Star Wars Kids 1 through 11, and number 12, The A Story, and 13 through 20, and Star Wars 3D 1 through 3. I started reading it last week, and I'm currently, I think I'm about a third of the way. I need to actually start hustling on that one. All right, The Variants coming out, and that is that Jessica Jones? I haven't read this. Gail Simone, okay, and Phil Noto. Nice. So it looks like Variants of Jessica Jones, collecting all 5 issues of that series. Aliens, the Original Years Omnibus Volume 4. So this wraps up Aliens, and enough material for an Aliens vs. Predator. We need a Predator Volume 2 first, though. Alright, so collecting Fast Track to Heaven, Colonial Marines, No Man Left Behind, Isolation, Defiance 1 through 12, Dead Orbit for... Oh my gosh, the price alone for that series is worth it. And if you've not read it, it's James Stokoe. That hardcover's been out of print, and now you get it in an oversized format. Aliens Dust to Dust 1 through 4, Aliens Resistance 1 through 4, Rescue 1 through 4, the original screenplay 1 through 5, that's interesting, and Alien 3D unproduced screenplay 1 through 5, plus material from Dark Horse Presents 12 through 17, Free Comic Book Day 2016, Aliens. Man, cannot wait to talk about that book. All right, JSA by Jeff Johns. We're moving on to DC. JSA by Jeff Johns, Book 5, a book that just would not stop being canceled, is actually coming out now. Collecting the awesome crossover with Hawkman 23 to 25 and JSA 46 through 58. Oh my gosh, that has some of the best JSA stories, if not my favorite story. Adam Strange Between Two Worlds, the deluxe edition. And this is a deluxe edition, meaning that it's oversized. Deathstroke Incorporated, Volume 2, Year 1, Joshua Williamson, Paolo Pantalena are the creators behind this, and this creates Year 1 of... I do see Ed Brison's name in there too, and Dexter Soy that cover, so I wonder why they're crediting Joshua Williamson. Okay. Go figure. I don't know. Alright, from the world of manga, we have Berserk Volume 13 coming out that very same week. Now again, that is, some places are going to be getting it that week, other places are going to be getting it later. We're also getting Dragon's Betrothed, I don't know why I said Betrothed, whatever the hell I just said, that wasn't right. But that is coming out that very same week, and that is being published by Sublime, who's putting out some manga from time to time. Kiruru Kill Me Volume 4. Why did I add that on the list? Because of the name? Oh no, it's just a freaky cover. 7 Seas Entertainment. I don't know what it is about those creepy eyes. They just stand out. And from Square Enix Manga, Ragna Crimson, Volume 8. Digging that cover right there. That is by Daiki Kobayashi, both the art and the writing. From other publishers that same week, we have Lonesome Hunters coming out from Dark Horse Comics. That is a Tyler Crook cover, isn't it? It looks like one. So it is. It's a supernatural fantasy about lost power and destiny. Collects Lonesome Hunters 1 through 4, and this is a trade paperback. And it is written by him too, so it's all Tyler Crook. It's not just the cover. The art in there is by him, and it's written by him. So, hell yeah, that's awesome. Nexus Nefarious is coming out. This is by Mike Barron and Richard Bunk doing the artwork here. $17.99. That is a hardcover. Confabulation, an anecdotal autobiography by Dave Gibbons. What a title. $49.99. That looks really... It's packed with over 300 iconic and rarely seen unpublished art pieces and photographs. Talking about the journey of Dave Gibbons. Now that's what's up. That's cool. Count Crowley, Volume 2, Amateur Midnight Monster Hunter. Collecting Midnight Monster Hunter 1 through 4. And that is a trade paperback for $19.99, 104 pages. So, Sonic the Hedgehog, IDW Collection, Volume 3, coming out in hardcover format. Finally, that book was... My goodness, that book was postponed. It's coming out on my birthday, collecting issues 21 through 32, the 2020 annual, and that was all previously collected in volumes 6 through 8 of the standard edition trade paperbacks. Standard edition trade paper. Just trade paperbacks. Dungeons & Dragons Ravenloft, Orphan of Agony Isle by Casey Gilly is coming out that very same week. And the Killlock, the Artisan Wraith. Oh, this is Killlock. This is by Livio Ramondelli. I interviewed him and he was telling me about this book. This is coming out in paperback format. I gotta check that out. I love his artwork in Transformers. So, I need to check it. He said I get to draw a giant robot, so of course I'm in. Glork Patrol, Book 3, Glork Patrol and the Magic Robot. It is a hardcover, 40 pages, $9.99. If you're reading Glork Patrol, awesome. More power to you. I have no idea what it is. No idea what it is. Dark Ride, trade paperback, Volume 1 is coming out that very same week from Image Comics. That is definitely Joshua Williamson this time around. Now, Image Comics tends to publish their books on the 15th. This collects the first 4 issues, by the way. So, sometimes books are coming out on the 14th, and then you see places like Image Comics come out on the 15th. And that might be because they're still exclusive to Diamond. So, Previous World shows are coming out on the 15th. So, they're the ones that distribute it, so it makes sense. American Jesus trade paperback, Volume 3. This is Mark Miller and Peter Gross. I was going to say, that looks like a Lucifer type of Books of Magic type of cover, so immediately I thought of Peter Gross. I don't know why. I don't know what this is about, but this collects American Jesus Revelations 1 through 3. Not had a chance to read that. I honestly had no idea that Mark Miller was working on books over at Image. What? I thought he was just working on follow-ups, and I know he's working on some Netflix stuff. Last Man, trade paperback Volume 2 is coming out also from Image Comics, and this is by Balak Sanlaville and Vives. Those are the creators behind that book. Revolvers is coming out in trade paperback format, collecting the first 4 issue of Revolver, which you see there. A revolver. What is that about, though? Okay. By all accounts, Detective Hampton Wells is a good cop, but a complicated man. And when he dies under unusual circumstances, finds that things aren't less complicated than death. The cases he couldn't solve have come back to haunt him, literally and figuratively. And he faces hellscape, where people from his past hunt him down in an eternal, torturous blood sport. I'm so glad I actually read that. That sounds freaking awesome. Now, that cover right there is Jay Lee. I believe he is just doing the covers. All right. Eisner Award-winning artist Jay Lee, that is Seven Sons, published by Image, by the way. It's his first creator-owned comic since 1994. What was that comic he did? Hellshock, I think? He did a book called Hellshock. So it is his book, okay. So maybe he is working on it, or maybe he's just co-plotting it. Whatever it is, though, that is definitely his art on the cover. From Boom Studios, we're getting Flavor Girls, hardcover. And, well, okay, I'm not even going to try to butcher that name. I am so sorry. So this collects the first 3 issues, and it looks to be a hardcover? Yeah, it looks to be a hardcover, and that is from Boom Studios. But it's not the only book we're getting from Boom Studios that week. We're also getting The Expanse, Origins, of course, based on The Expanse show. From Fair Square Comics, we're getting Dear Body. That's coming out in trade paperback. That looks like a Fantagraphics book. Maybe it's the title, maybe it's the artwork. Not really sure. But it definitely reminded me of a Fantagraphics book. And speaking of Fantagraphics, we're getting Evita, the life and work of Eva Perón. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is a sequel to Che Guevara. And I read that last year. That almost made it in my top 10. That was an excellent read. Published in 1970, Evita, the life and work of Eva Perón was daringly intended to be a follow-up to the artist's successful and controversial 1916. Oh, so it is Life of Che follow-up. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I definitely got to check that out because I really like the Che book. And we're also getting Hidden System. And Hidden System is being published by Random House graphic novels. So from time to time, they're still publishing graphic novels. House on Fire is coming out from Living the Line. They're putting out some books these days. This is by Matt Battaglia. And it is an original graphic novel. And Meta Baron, hardcover, volume 4, Bastard. And Proto-Guardianess. I'll just try to say it. Jerry Frizen and Pete Woods are working on this book. And of course, all of it being part of the Alejandro Jodorowsky's world of Incal. So pretty cool that that's continuing, and that is being published by Humanoids. And Miss Davis is coming out in hardcover format, published by Fantagraphics. Bat Pig. I love that we're going from Miss Davis to Bat Pig. You never know where these solicitations are going to get you. But Bat Pig, Volume 3, Go Pig, or Go Home. Becoming Frankenstein is coming out in trade paperback format. That is published by 10 Ton Press. And we're also getting the Cryptid Club, Volume 2, a Nessie situation, published by Harper Alley. Myth Space Ignition is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Ablaze. At first look, I thought that was a manga too. But it is not. It is by Paolo Chiquiamco. Oh my gosh, I just butchered that. Paolo Chiquiamco. There we go. That's better. And this is where Mercy Sparks has dropped into in the March 15th solicits. So this is the Mercy Sparks big cover up. It's an art book, but it is in trade paperback format. And people, actually, I just got an email from somebody asking me where that book went, and it disappeared, but it looks like it's now moved into the second week of March. So, hey, my birthday, that's when it's coming out. All right, Quick Clockwork Night, Haunted Towers coming out that very same week, as well as See in You, which looks so cute. Second Coming, Only Begotten Son, Volume 2 is coming out, and that is published by Aftershock Studios. Now, if you're interested in some of these books that I've already mentioned, check out our first sponsor.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltzcomicshop.com, and you can use the code Near Mint Condition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
Fantastic Four Epic Collection, The Dream is Dead, kicking off the third week of March. So we're looking at March 21st. And this collects Fantastic Four 321 to 333, Annual 22, Marvel graphic novel Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom, Triumph and Torment. Holy crap. That alone, if you've not read, you're in for a treat. $44.99, 464 pages. We're looking at the Steve Englehart era. You have some Ron Lim artwork, Keith Pollard artwork in there. And, of course, Mike Mignola's art. The Unbeatable Squirrel Girl Omnibus. This is a biggie. And by biggie, I mean physically. It is 1,616 pages. Man, I started reading that all the way back in, I think, December when I first got it. And because I knew it was going to take me a while. This collects Unbeatable Squirrel Girl 1 through 8, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl 1 through 50, Howard the Duck number 6, and then material from Not Brand Act 14. 1,616 pages, $150. My goodness, that's all of Squirrel Girl. Well, that era Squirrel Girl doesn't have like her first appearance by Steve Ditko. Doctor Strange, Epic Collection, Triumph and Torment. My gosh, you get Triumph and Torment in 2 freaking formats? Well, 1 format, 2 books, same week. Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, 1 through 13, and then Doom, Triumph, and Torment. 488 pages, $44.99. That is a second printing of that book. Guardians of the Galaxy, you all voted for that. By the way, the Epic Collection poll will be coming out sometime in a week or so, right after I announce the top 20 books that you all wanted from Marvel Comics back to print. Omnis. Guardians of the Galaxy by Donny Cates coming out in trade paperback format, collecting Guardians of the Galaxy 1 through 12 and Guardians of the Galaxy Annual Number 1. Now, all that is the trade paperback format of that oversized hardcover that came out, 2019, I think. 328 pages, $39.99. Wolverine by Benjamin, Uncanny Omar talked pretty one day. Benjamin Percy Volume 2. And this collects Wolverine 14 through 25. And $44.99, 344 pages. Marvel Masterworks Dazzler Volume 4. Getting closer and closer to wrap up this series and maybe get an omnibus. Collecting Dazzler 35 through 42. Beauty and the Beast 1 through 4. Oh my gosh. Secret Wars number 4 and Marvel Fanfare number 38. I know there are people that love Beauty and the Beast, but that I remember distinctly because every time I do an X-Men read-through, and when I do an X-Men read-through, I go through everything. X-Factor, New Mutants, and then, start up that series. I go through Dazzler. I'm ridiculous. And I haven't done one in a long time, just because I've been reading just about everything else. But when I get to Beauty and the Beast, oh my gosh, do I dread it. And like I said, I'm sure people love it, but when I get to Beauty and the Beast, I'm like, I don't want to read this series again. Savage Avengers by Jerry Duggan coming out. Finally, that book I think I've had since October. I think some people got it from Amazon early already back in January, but it is finally officially coming out on March 21st. So for the people that have been waiting, there you go. Moon Knight, Volume 3. Halfway to Sanity. Jed McKay. I haven't read this one yet. I can't wait. That's Werewolf by Night. There he is. Jack Russell. Collecting issues 13 through 18 of the 2021 series and the first annual from that series. Spider-Punk Battle of the Band. Cody Sigler and Justin Mason working on this book. And you have the cover there by Olivier Coipel. And this collects the 5-issue miniseries. I assume he's going to be a big part in Spider-Verse. New Mutants Volume 4, or the Spider-Verse comic, or the movie. I don't know. I assume. New Mutants Volume 4, and this collects issues 21 through 33. So now we have Danny Lore's era of New Mutants, if I'm not mistaken, because by now Vita Ayala is out of, well, at least writing New Mutants. Power Girl Power Trip. Coming out, $39.99, JSA Classified 1 through 4, and Power Girl 1 through 12. Now, I will say that if you've not read it, this is a trade paperback that's been out of print for a long time, and you need to check it out. That's all I will say. That might show up in my top 10. Who knows? Harley Quinn, Volume 3. Okay, in case it doesn't show up in my top 10, it is a delightful read. It's not what you expect from a Power Girl book, because when you think of Power Girl, I think people that have never read the character immediately focus on 2 things, right? Her big eyes. Yes, they're magnificent, and they're still in here. But it's so down to earth and so goofy and quirky, it's not what you would expect. Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Connor just kill it in here. And like I said, if it I don't think I'm going to... I think this would be 11 if I didn't make it in the top 10, because there's a lot of good books coming out. But this is during the time when Jeff Johns was writing JSA, so they started doing the JSA Classified to focus on different characters, and it was so popular, because she kicked it off with the first 4 issues, that she got her own series. And again, when this thing went out of print, it's like that stupid Paul Dini Zatanna book. It's ridiculously overpriced, so get it while it's in print. That's all I'm saying. Harley Quinn Volume 3. Continuing Stephanie Nicole Phillips' run, and I think my buddy Bart told me that this run is really good, collecting issues 13 through 17 and the 30th anniversary special. Multiversity Teen Justice is coming out, and this collects Teen Justice or DC Very Merry Multiverse 1, Teen Justice 1 through 6, and DC Pride 2022 number 1. And Robin Volume 3 Secrets and Shadows. Roger Cruz, huh? Joshua Williamson still writing the book. But Roger Cruz still doing monthlies. Good for him. Good for him. From the world of manga, from Viz Comics, we have Call of the Night, Volume 11 by Kotoyama. It's one I remember they sent my way. Final Fantasy VII Remake, Trace of Two Paths. This is a hardcover, but it says it's a novel, but there's art in there, so I don't know. I just put it in here because my wife is a fan of Final Fantasy VII, so I had to put it in here. Otherwise, she would kill me. Insomniac's After School Volume 1 is also coming out that week, as well as Kinito Mosaic Best Wishes. And to wrap up the manga that I had down for that week, Orochi Perfect Edition Volume 4 is coming out. Now, from other publishers, from Dark Horse Comics, we have The Shadow Regent, and that is by Chad Corey, and it is a trade paperback. And we're also getting Existentially Challenge by Yahtzee Croshaw, or Croshaw. I don't know why I said Croshaw. This is a trade paperback for $12.99, 352 pages. Avatar, Adapt or Die. And this is set before, I want to say, before Avatar 2, or what the heck is that water movie called? I can't remember. I want to see it. Avatar, Adapt or Die, collecting the first 6 issues of that series. And Cyberpunk 2077, Way of the Water. You Have My Word. And I heard these were really good. I haven't had a chance to read them yet, but this collects the 4 issues of that. Mind Management Bootleg is coming out in hardcover format. And it's got... This is not collected in the Mind Management hardcovers if you have those. This is the newer series that came out. And it is all by Matt Kint. Of course, he's not doing the artwork. A lot of people helping him out on art. From the world of IDW, we're getting the Star Trek Aliens coming out that week, as well as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Reborn Volume 6 Game Changer. So again, this is the Sophie Campbell era of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, collecting issues 131 and 132, the 2022 annual, the free comic book day, and that's it. Yeah, 112 pages, $16.99. Basilisk Volume 3 is coming out. This is Cullen Bunn's book. Oh, I like that. I remember I put it as one of my hidden gems. So it's one of those horror books, but I mean, my goodness, it's Cullen Bunn. I think that's what he's known for, right? Most people probably know him from that. Sons of El Topo, original graphic novel. Is this part of the Johto books? Huh. No, it's from Boom Studios, but it is Johto. Okay. But it's got artwork by Jose Ladron. How in the... I wonder why Humanoids isn't publishing that, because El Topo was all Alejandro. That's really interesting. Maybe they just have the rights to... I guess for the same reason, like, Dark Horse couldn't publish things like Blueberry, as much as I want them to, because somebody else owns the rights to Blueberry. From Image Comics, Creepshow Volume 1, one that I'm really excited to check out. That will definitely show up. See what I mean? This is going to be hard to make a list of top 10. I always have a hard time with them. That's why sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll just make it top 11. Dead Lucky Trade Paperback Volume 1. Melissa Flores and French Carlomagno are the creators behind this. And it collects the first 6 issues, $9.99. That's how they get you that first trade paperback. King Spawn Volume 2. So I want to say King Spawn Volume 1 was $9.99. Now King Spawn Volume 2, 7 through 12, is $16.99. And we're also getting Bywater Felix Mann's story, as well as Children of Bathala Mythology class reunion graphic novel. Ephemera is coming out in hardcover format from Fantagraphics. That one is $24.99. And we're also getting Harvey Knight's Odyssey graphic novel. That's published by Drawn and Quarterly. Humanoids is giving us Pixies of 60s. You Really Got Me Now. It's a pretty cover. I'm not sure if that's... I think that's translated from a European comic. And we're getting that book. 1972 to 1987 hardcover from Fantagraphics. Thanks, Fantagraphics. I need YouTube to demonetize me. Best of Illustrations Quarterly 10th Anniversary. Now, this is coming out in a softcover format, and that is published by Book Palace. And we're also getting The Belle of the Ball. Both the hardcover and the graphic novel or softcover are coming out that same week. From Amulet Books, we're getting Extincts Volume 2, Flight of the Mammoth. That's cute. And Guardians of Horsa, Volume 2, Naysayers. At first I thought that was another My Little Pony book, but it is not. Lead City is coming out that week, and that is being published by Red 5 Comics. And I'm glad that they're still putting stuff out. Good for them. Lunar Ladies, or Lunar Ladies. Every time I say Lunar, I think of the video game. But Lunar Ladies is published by Scout Comics. Awesome. And Mish, the Bad Demon, Volume 1 is coming out in graphic novel and in hardcover format. Memoir in Pictures and Words by Brian Bolland. Not only are we getting a Dave Gibbons book, we're also getting a Brian Bolland book. That is awesome. That one's by Book Palace, as well as the one I was talking about earlier that... what was it? It was the Best of Illustrations Quarterly. Queen in Comics is coming out that week. And there he is, the man himself, Freddie Mercury. Quest the Side trade paperback volume 1. I love the colors they're using on it. That is from Vault Comics, coming out that week. Big fan of those colors they're using. And Shadow Service volume 3 coming out that very same week. That is being published by Vault Comics as well. And that is by Cavan Scott and Corin Howell. Cavan Scott's the gentleman that's working on the the High Republic, Star Wars High Republic. And West of Sundown to wrap up the week of March 21st. So here we are, the last week of the month, March 28th. From Marvel Comics, we have Avengers Epic Collection, Acts of Vengeance. So collecting issues 304 to 318 and Annual 18, as well as Avengers West Coast 53 through 55. That is, of course, the Acts of Vengeance crossover, all helmed by John Byrne. But you also have Danny Fingeroth writing a lot of these stories, and Kyle Higgins, Fabian Nicieza, and Paul Ryan. Ryan Wilson, I think, is doing some of the artwork there. Carnage Epic Collection, Web of Carnage. Collecting Amazing Spider-Man 403 and 410, Venom, Carnage Unleashed 1 through 4, Carnage Mind Bomb, Sensational Spider-Man number 3, Spider-Man 67, Spectacular Spider-Man 233, Carnage is a Wonderful Life, and Venom on Trial 2 to 3, plus material from Amazing Spider-Man Super Special, Spider-Man Super Special, Venom Super Special, Spectacular Spider-Man Super Special, and Web of Spider-Man Super Special. So that's how you get your Carnage kicks in case you need some Carnage. You know, I just thought about this, that we have Omnibus, we have Amazing Spider-Man, so some of this stuff, I'm surprised they never did a classic Carnage Omnibus. We've had a Carnage Omnibus, but that was his recent series, the miniseries. So I wonder if they'll ever go back and revisit that character, if you're interested in the character at all. Nova, coming in strong in the last week. Nova Richard Rider Omnibus. This is the Marv Wolfman stuff, John Buscema doing stuff, and actually, he did one of the covers, and Keith Pollard did the other cover. But collecting Nova 1 through 25, Amazing Spider-Man 171, Defender 62 to 64, Fantastic Four 204 to 206, 208 to 214, Annual number 12, Marvel 2-in-1 number 91, Annual number 3 of Marvel 2-in-1, The Thing 34, and the material from What If 36. Now, if you're a fan of Nova, this is huge. This is everything. The only thing that it's missing because of licensing, of course, is that ROM issue. Because Nova, unfortunately, it didn't end and wrap up all the stories. Some of the stories got wrapped up in other books, such as Fantastic Four, which you see collected in there, and that ROM issue. But That sucks. Maybe one day. One day. Then when they reprint it, hey, with all newly restored ROM. Moon Knight, Mark Spector Omnibus is finally coming out that week, and I cannot wait to talk about that book. And we're also getting Wolverine Weapon X Deluxe Edition. Now, this is a trade paperback, and it is Deluxe Edition because it collects issue 205 of Uncanny X-Men, as well as material from Wolverine 166. Issues 74 through 84 of Marvel Comics Presents have been previously collected before. This time around, it has 200 pages, $29.99. So, it's a trade paperback, but don't think it's oversized because it says it's Deluxe Edition. They did the same thing with Logan and, or not Logan, Wolverine, the miniseries, and Origin. Daredevil Epic Collection, watch out for Bullseye. Collecting issues 108 to 132 of Daredevil and Marvel 2-in-1 number 3, $49.99. Hells yes. Trials of X Volume 7, Shadow King on that cover there. Collecting X-Men, the 2021 series number 4, New Mutants 22 and 23, Wolverine 17 through 18. Thunderbolts, back on target. Jim Zub coming in. I remember reading an interview recently of Jim Zub. I had no idea that he started over at Udon Studios. And Sean Izakse doing the artwork here. Now, as far as Thunderbolts, the only one I recognize there that's been previously a Thunderbolt was Hawkeye. That's when he was forced to lead that team. But anytime you have Monica Rambeau on a team, I'm in, baby. I'm in. But you also have America Chavez, a new Power Man, and I believe that's Purple Girl, but I think she goes by Persuasion now, if I'm not mistaken. And then that's a new character back there, Guts and Glory or something like that is what his name is. So that is your team. I don't know if any of the classic Thunderbolts will appear in there. I haven't had a chance to read it. Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood Treasury Edition is coming out. Those are big, beautiful, oversized books. And I think the next one they're working on is it Black Widow or is it Darth Vader? I can't remember. Damage Control, New Employee Handbook. Boy, that was one of my favorite Goofy series growing up. And now we're getting the 2022 collection. I love the classic Damage Control. It was so ridiculous. Those are people that clean up after there's a huge damage because of superheroes and supervillains fighting. In case you've never read Damage Control. That's what that is. And from DC Comics, we have Task Force Z, Volume 2, What's Eating You? So Matthew Rosenberg and Eddie Barrows continuing that run of Task Force Z, Suicide Squad. Naomi Season 2 coming out in hardcover. I thought that this has already been out. I could have sworn Season 1 was years ago. Collecting Naomi Season 2, 1 through 6. Jamal Campbell's artwork in that is freaking awesome. You have David Walker co-writing it with Brian Michael Bendis. Infinity Frontier. I'm surprised that this was not collected in a hardcover. But Joshua Williamson's big crossover. This collects Infinity Frontier 0 through 6. The Secret Files. And it's all written by Joshua Williamson, who was writing The Flash at the time. I Am Batman. Welcome to Volume 2. Welcome to New York. John Ridley continuing his I Am Batman series with Christian Duce. Or Duce. Or Duque. Let's just stick with Deuce. Coming out from DC Comics that very same week. 7 Seas Entertainment, so we're moving on to manga. We're getting Die Even More Valiantly, Volume 1. Like it. Very simple cover, too. It's fierce. Fist of the North Star continuing its run in hardcover format with Volume 8. Fire Force Omnibus Volume 3, collecting issues 7 through 9 of Fire Force. And keep in mind, those Omnis are just 3 tankobons put together, so they are softcover. There's not a hardcover. Just for clarification, Les Miserables Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out. I love that they're doing classic stories like that. And that is a beautiful cover. And that is an omnibus format. That means that this is, I don't know how many books it went. 7 Seas Entertainment is publishing that, though. And Persona 4, Arena Volume 1 is coming out from Udon Studios. 7 Deadly Sins, Box Set 4, coming out finally. I think that was delayed from February, so it's moved into March. They Were 11 is getting a new edition. And Tombs is the latest Junji Ito story collection, coming out in hardcover format from Viz Comics. From other publishers, from Dark Horse, we have Jeff Lemire's latest, The Last Days of Black Hammer from the World of Black Hammer, $19.99. And this one has 136 pages. Pearl Volume 3, so a continuation of Brian Michael Bendis' Pearl series. This collects Pearl 3 issues 1 through 6. and Stephen McCrane's Space Boy Volume 15. Has anybody been reading this? I've been curious to read this because Dark Horse has been publishing these omnibus editions, but they're trade paperback, big, thick books. But I've been curious to read it. Snow Angels Library Edition. This is the book by Jeff Lemire and Jock. And I've done an overview of the trade paperbacks already. From the world of Image Comics, we are getting Kaya in trade paperback edition. Not sure what this is, but I love that cover. I love the... Oh, it's Wes Craig. He's the gentleman that drew Deadly Class, but he is writing and drawing this. It collects Kaya 1 through 5, plus a 16-page prologue from the Image 30th Anniversary special. Very nice. Man, that looks nice. Gorgeous. Like I said, I love the colors there. Batron Against Chariots is coming out in trade paperback, as well as Parker Girls Volume 1, Dead Quiet. A la Brava Latina Superhero Team from Phoenix Studios. I don't know why I went like that. My kids, maybe. So yes, Volume 1's coming out. Astroneer Countdown is coming out from Titan Publishing. And I just talked about the colors in that other book, but my goodness, the colors here. Wow, that looks gorgeous. $13.99. That is a trade paperback. Batcat. Well, we have Batpig. Might as well throw Batcat in there. And that's published by Amulet Studio or Amulet Books. We're getting Bean hardcover volume 2 Into the Dark. I love these little, not landscape books, but they're like little CD album books. Very cute. Berezina volume 3 from Cinebook is coming out. That is by Frederic Richard. And Born Sexy Tomorrow. I thought it was a manga at first, but no, that is published by Rocket Ship Entertainment, who I guess does some manga-looking books. Dynamite Never Dies, coming out from Dynamite, as well as Betty Page, The Alien Agenda. Erratic Recharged. That is being published by AWA. It's a cute little book. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Miles Morales. Just the colors. It's by, Carrie Andrews and Brian Reber. Okay. Carrie Andrews did a lot of the covers for Miles Morales. That's why it reminds me of it. And Highball trade paperback is coming out that very same week. And that is being published by Ahoy Comics. I love that they put out stuff. Everything I've read by them has been great. I Escaped the Chinese Internment Camp. My goodness, this is a winner of a Pulitzer Prize. Can't even speak. Wow. It's for illustrated reporting the true story of Sumrat Duwat, a mother of 3 in a region of China who was arrested and sent to a detention facility. Oh, looks like a heavy read. That's published by Leif Gleason. And some of those books, man, they just stick with you. And they stay with you. Carmen Line is coming out that week. And that is published by Mad Cave Studios. Getting a little bit of James Stokoe vibes from that cover, but that is by Dennis Hopeless and Peter Kowalski working on that particular book. And Keepsakers is coming out that week, and that is being published by Invader Comics. Knockout County, published by Scout Studios, is coming out that very same week. And Monkey King, The Complete Odyssey. Of course, there's been a lot of those that has been released, but this one here looks a little bit different. Pierce Brown, Red Rising, Son of Ares, hardcover, hell of a title. And Rogue State Volume 1, that is from Black Mask Studios Entertainment. 3 Ghosts of Tesla, hardcover, coming out that week. Man, what a title. I want to say that one I thought was out already, though. Just looking at it, it looks familiar. The Untold Story of Nikola Tesla's Final Adventure. It won the 2018 Special Double Grand Hours Award. Okay. And that is being published by Titan Comics, by the way. That looks really interesting. We Are On Our Own is coming out in trade paperback format. And that is published by Drawn and Quarterly. Believe that one. I remember when I talked about the hardcover. And to wrap up the week and the month of March, The World of Andong Agimat. The Mystery of the Talisman by Arnold Are, and that is by Tuttle Publishing. Now, if you're interested in purchasing some of these books, check out our sponsor, CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know near mint condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And those were the books that are coming out for the month of March. Let me know in the comments down below what you are picking up and what you're passing on, what you've never heard of and you're intrigued in. And yeah, come back to the channel on Sunday. I'll be doing my top 10. I guess if you're watching this later, if you're watching the last week, I've already done my top 10 picks for March. So maybe we can mix and match and you can see and compare and contrast which books I've suggested and which you've picked up or which you were like, are you crazy? But anyway, that is the list of collected editions coming out in March. Everyone, thank you so much for helping me put this video together. All our patrons, could not be doing this without you all. Stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.